Not everyone is in this category, but if you are a rider that strives to be faster, then today might be your lucky day, because here's 10 easy ways to get faster. The first one, I'm going to keep it brief. Basically, just ride your bike more. It's almost always the recipe for getting faster, so just do it. Number 2, changing gear more. All right, I'll give you a bit more detail on this one, but being in the right gear at the right time is actually quite a bit of a skill, and it means trying to predict what's coming up and actually changing gear quite a lot. So coming into slow corners, things like that, and it might mean that you're turning the pedals, not necessarily pedaling and putting force through into your back wheel, but spinning so you can actually get your gears in spots you might find a little bit dicey, but it does make a big difference to keeping your momentum and keeping your speed through sections. Having the right cadence will mean you get maximum power down, and also try to time your pedal strokes to the trail to avoid trail furniture, so you aren't trying to pedal around corners when you might hit the floor. The same goes for your dropper post as well. So I'm constantly working my gear shift around my dropper post depending on the trail. So up and down, but also I use it quite a lot at half mast as well. So I can have it fairly high-ish so I can still pedal with some efficiency, but low enough that if I come around a corner and something a bit unexpected, I've got some room to maneuver without having to just push it down all the way. Get your bike set up right. Bad setup on brakes, suspension, tyres is going to slow you down. Squeaky brakes, super annoying, also slow you down. Tyres, there's so many different variables here to getting the right tyre to work with you or against you. So getting the right tread for the type of terrain and the type of soil and the conditions you ride in. Tyre pressures, obviously massive variables there, but it's an easy one to experiment with. Width, even rim width, so loads of things, but try and get them there or thereabouts for the type of trails you ride. Brakes, it's all about making sure that they're working, especially most bikes nowadays come with modern disc brakes, they're super powerful. So try and get them so you can use them all the time, and that is setting them up so you can use one finger, so you can leave that finger on your brakes all the time and make sure you're getting the most power from them. Suspension, it's first making sure that you've got them set up for your weight. So look at the sag. I tend to go for about 30% on my shock, about 25 to 30% on my fork, and then start playing around with things like the rebound control and all the damping. We have done loads of videos on this, and check out GMBN Tech for plenty more to help you set up your bike. Have a look into your braking. Are you grabbing them or dragging them subconsciously? I actually think this is a really hard one to get out of the habit of doing, so I try and concentrate on it when I'm riding sometimes. Can I try and dare myself to get around that corner without dragging the brakes? Because actually most of the time they make it worse and you'll lose a little bit of grip. Fitter is almost always going to mean faster. You're going to be able to pedal harder for longer, but also your technical riding ability isn't going to suffer as much when you do get tired. But I hear you shouting already, getting fitter isn't easy. Well, here's the genius bit to it. It's trying to find cross-training ways that don't feel like they're training. So outside of your normal riding or training, things like going for a run with a dog rather than walking, or motocross, or even hitting the gym. Some people find that fun. So get out there, try and find fun ways of doing it. It'll make a difference how fast you can go on the bike as well. Following a faster rider down a trail is a great way for pushing yourself on a little bit. So jump in behind them, try and do what they do, follow their lines, brake where they brake, and it really does make a big difference. Just make sure they're just sort of a little bit faster than you. If they're way faster, it's probably a bit dodgy if you're trying to keep up with them. So Jack, do you want to come behind me? Oh no, sorry, you're a bit too slow, aren't you? Watching videos of other people riding, I think, is a bit of a forgotten art of how to get faster. You know, when I was a youth, I had all my VHSs of all the races and just studied them over and over. So watch what your favourite riders are doing and try and imitate them. but also videoing your riding as well. You can definitely start to look at exactly what you're doing on the bike. I used to do this quite a lot when I was coaching, so videoing people and then giving them advice on how to maybe tweak their riding a little bit and make themselves better and faster. AERODYNAMICS. Yep, I know what you're thinking. I've made this one up just to make it a nice round 10 easy ways. But actually, it's something that road riders obviously think about quite a lot. They get aero bikes, all sorts. But when it comes to a certain average speed, above that, so maybe this one's for downhill or enduro racers, but it does make quite a big difference. I did a video a few years ago where I made an aero bike and wore my aero kit, and it did make quite a big difference. So if you're serious about going faster, maybe think about getting slightly more fitted kit. And it is a very easy way of getting faster. The way to get faster on big cross-country rides or epic rides is to pace yourself properly. Too fast too soon and you'll bomb at the end of the ride and be much slower. Of course, you could think about changing your diet or drinking less beer, but that would be a bit silly. And we're talking about easy ways for getting faster. So there you go, 10 ways. I'm sure you could do at least 5 of them, easy. Give us a like, that'd be much appreciated, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Global Mountain Bike Network.